norm reference test is a type of test, assessment, or evaluation which yields an estimate of the position of the tested individual in a predefined population with respects to the trait being measured. One of these norm reference testing materials is called the Woodcock-Johnson Test of Achievement. For the purpose of this video, I will reference the Woodcock-Johnson Test of Achievement as the WJ. Teachers can use the WJ on any student to either diagnose, determine discrepancies, use it for educational planning, plan an individual program such as an IEP, use it to test for guidance, assessing growth, program evaluation, research, and psychometric training, meaning they are testing to see if the intelligence level has risen in children. The WJ testing kit includes several different pieces. The WJ has 2 sets of books, Form A, Tests 1 through 12, and Form A, Tests 13 through 22. There is a Form B, however, we use Form A. You have an examiner's manual that you can read, get any kind of information you need out of it. You have the teacher record book, and then you have the student record book, and you need to make sure that the Form A matches with the Form A books, or you will get different answers. And there also is scoring guides. So certain parts of the test need to be scored, and here's kind of like cheat sheets of the scoring guides. The WJ tests 5 circular areas: reading, mathematics, written language, oral language, and academic knowledge. And it also tests 2 auxiliary writing evaluation processes. These areas are broken down into 22 tests. Test 1 is letter word identification. Test 2 is reading fluency. Test 3 is story recall. 4 is understanding directions. 5 is math calculations. 6 is math fluency. 7, spelling. 8, writing fluency. 9, passage comprehension. 10, applied problems. 11, writing samples. 12 is the second part of the story recall. Test 13, word attack. Test 14, picture vocabulary. Test 15, oral comprehension. Test 16, editing. Test 17, reading vocabulary. Test 18, quantitative concepts. Test 19, academic knowledge. Test 20 is spelling of sounds. Test 21 is sound awareness. Test 22 is punctuation and capitalization. These are all used to test students on particular subject matter. To score the students' test results, you will need several different items. You will need the manual, you will need the scoring guides, and then you will also need a student record scorebook and a teacher record scorebook. Each test has its own page where the teacher is going to mark correct or incorrect answers. On the top, there's a small guidance of information just in case you forgot before you read the student directions. If you forget, there's a little guide right there on the top on each test. The student can write anywhere in the book that he is told or he or she told. And in the examiner's manual for the writing sample, there are example problems, and it gives you a score guide, whether it's 2, 1, or a 0 that the student scored. After you are done scoring and all your calculations are totaled up, you take your scorebook and you enter it into your computer system, which is a downloadable CD program that is on the laptop, and you plug in the scores, and it produces, once you're done, all the scores into a spreadsheet or a score record report. And on that, it gives you all the tests that the student has taken, the raw score, the age equivalency, the standard score, and the grade equivalency. And on the report summary, it gives you information that you can actually add into the student's IEP. Setting up the testing environment for the student is super important. You're going to make sure that the student is sitting across from you and that all materials are ready. You're going to tell the student that some of the questions being asked are going to be hard and some are going to be easy, and just to do the best that you can. I'm going to give an example of performing test number 1, which is letter word identification. The student doesn't need their scorebook at this particular time, so I'm just going to have my score sheet and I'm going to present the directions to the student and have my portion of the test document open and ready. I like to use a pencil in case I make a mistake or I need to note something and then erase it. I have that option. This is the part the student sees and this is the part the teacher will read. So, hi Tyler.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Great.
We're going to take test number 1. I'm going to have a series of tests and just do the best that you can. The first test is letter word identification. I'm going to give you some directions and then you're going to answer some questions, okay?
Okay.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First, you're going to read the word slowly and then you're going to say the word smoothly, okay? So, this is the letter P. Find the P down here. Good. Point to the letter E. Good. Here are some letters. I want you to point to the letter I say. Point to B. Point to C. Good. Then I take some time and I go ahead and I score that before I forget, and then I move on. Sometimes if you're not looking, you may be able to score during the test session. Just for the purpose of this test, I'm going to move on just a little bit to see how the words become harder. What is this word?
Because.
Okay, go ahead with the others, but don't go too fast.
New. Whole. Against. Sentence. Island. Decide.
Now, if the student ended up making his ceiling in the middle of this page, just have the student continue going and finishing the page. You can develop your testing in any areas that you would like to assess. As long as you put in all the results into the data bank, it will print you out the score report. Thank you.